Let me see if I'm online just yet. Hi guys, can you all right, good. Audio is good. Just give me a sec. Let me just quickly share it. Awesome. So good evening for my mates in Australia, and good afternoon and good morning to everybody else, all of you around the world, and welcome to the Godox lighting. Today, I'm going to talk about this little yet very powerful lights, 8100 Pro. I will keep this short, relevantly short, so that everybody can, can enjoy the talk as well as, spend time with everything else. Feel free to leave your comments below. I will answer all the questions after my talk. I'll spend probably 15 to 20 minutes on the talk with my latest photo shoot with 8100 Pro. After that, I'll spend the time to answer all of your questions. So if you leave your question in the comments, and I will try to answer them all. And the good news is we are going to give away 8100 Pro today. So, at the end of my presentation, I'll leave you guys a question, and then if you answer the question within 24 hours, we will give away of 8100 Pro. So stay tuned. Cool. Hi everyone. Hi Tom. Miss you, mate. All right, let's get started, shall we? So remember, I think 2 years ago I was doing this presentation at WPPI in Las Vegas. It's kind of, I love my 8200 so much. It's almost like you're in a relationship. You feel like you find the right one. You're never going to love anybody else again. Well, I changed my mind. So this is my new favorite, like at least for the run gun kind of photo shoots. That's my favorite. I'll tell you why. Number one, it's the size of 24 millimeters between Sony 24 GM and 85 GM. So it's so small. It fits in my camera bag perfectly. And I know 8200 Pro is quite small, but comparing with this one, this is much more discreet. And I tend to shoot in lots of busy city locations, and this actually helps me a lot. It helps me a lot. All right, cool. So let's jump into the presentation, shall we? So I did a photo shoots. I did a fashion editorials photo shoots in right in the central metro of Sydney, which is quite cool. And we have a beautiful and gorgeous model, Raquel, who's agreed to on sites and to be our model. And I was going for the kind of New York style busy street, working with a couple of iced latte sort of photo shoots. And yeah. And here we go. So on the left, you can see that image with natural lights. And on the right, on the right, you can see the natural light image. On the left, you can see the actual image after the flash is being used. I thought this would be intuitive way for you guys to see the difference. So basically what happened is the cloud coverage was in the afternoon. It's about 50 to 60% of cloud coverage. So it's not overcast day. You guys can still see the kind of bluish lights in the background. The problem is there's not many natural lights, right? Because it's actually in a metro city area. Most of the natural lights is being blocked by the buildings. And she's kind of under the shades. Now, also you can see on the right, her face is a bit dark, especially the shadow area under her neck, and on the right side of her face, because it's close to the building. Actually, there's no lights being bounced off or blocked. So what happened is I use 8100 Pro with UB105, which is a parabolic umbrella recently published by Godox. Sorry, if you can excuse me. So here's it. Okay. The trick I actually happened with how I use it is within the umbrella, I actually use the dome. So the dome actually helps the lights to further diffuse to 180 degrees, which evenly diffused within the umbrella and makes the light even softer. And when you look at the image, you would imagine it's almost like a natural light, right? It's almost like a natural light, so even and so soft, and give a touch on her skin, bring out the details of the shadow area as well as lit up the orange outfit of hers and make it pop right out. And yeah, see, nice and easy. One light, one umbrella, that's it. The reason I use 8100 Pro is because if you guys are senior silence, it's a building of UTS, which is right in the Georgia Street, which is it's almost like Fifth Avenue in United States. So it's one of the busiest street in Sydney. I try to stay as low key, as discreet as possible, so that way I do not distract everybody else. So too easy, one light, and the shot was shoot on 24 millimeters lens. If you guys, just in case if you guys are interested. Now let's move on to the next one, shall we? And here's another scenario on the right. Again, you can see there is a kiss of sun bouncing off the building across the street on the top of the building, right? Which is gorgeous and beautiful. But the problem is from where the model is standing, and she's actually quite dark. It's simply because the way the light is bouncing, it's not bouncing on her face. That's the problem with natural light, right? We see beautiful natural lights, but sometimes unless the model is I don't know 3 meters high, as bit taller than Shaq O'Neal, there wouldn't be a beautiful piece of bouncing lights on her face. Now that's totally fine because I do have my off-camera flash. Again, I use 8100 Pro with the 105 umbrella. But notice here, instead of lit her from side like a piece of window lights, which is the image I did before, I actually lit her from below. The reason is that if you look at her chin area, and especially on her legs, it's getting quite dark. I actually, rather than use umbrella as a key lights, I want to use umbrella as a fill lights to lift up all the shadow details. And if you zoom in quite closely, you can also see there is a beautiful catch light right in her eyes. So with umbrella, it's quite, because it's a huge, soft light source. It's actually quite forgivable where you place the light. You don't have to place the light 45 degrees, right above her eyes, yalla yalla yalla. You can actually try. Life is fun to try. Try all the positions to place your light. See which one works for you. So I actually did a couple of trial. I find this one actually works the best for me. And yeah, and here it is. And it almost feel like the sun is bouncing off the street, right? The ground, and bounce over her face and give her this skin a nice, beautiful glow. Here you go. So you can use the 8100 Pro with umbrella as a piece of window. Just imagine them as a piece of window, or you can imagine use the umbrella as a piece of fill lights. It's almost like you use a silver or white reflector, but it's way more powerful. You get to control output because under shade, sometimes the silver and white reflector wouldn't be powerful enough to lift all the shadows. But with a flash, of course, you have the freedom to control the output. And the tips here would be, don't overdo this. Don't overpower the sun, because if your main light source, if your key light is coming from below, then the image looks a bit awkward. I'm not saying it's bad, because sometimes it would work, but for my taste in this particular scenario, I would just use that as a fill lights to subtly use it. That works the best for me. So guys, again, I will answer all your questions at the end of the presentation, and so that all together during the Q&A sessions, feel free to leave all your comments below. I will get to those within about 5 to 10 minutes. Here's another scenario. From the right, you can see where the natural light is. It's it's a passage, right? It's the problem is it's quite dark. As I've told you, because it's in the city, all the sunlight is kind of get blocked away. But when I look at the architecture, when I look at the patterns of the wall, I would imagine, how beautiful the image would be if we have some beautiful sun kissing, like in golden hours, shooting through the building, the patterns, and falling on her. Unfortunately, with a natural light, it's not going to happen. Simply because if the sunset is going that way, you never get to see the sunset at the horizon line within city, right? Because all the building would block it. So what happened here is I just create my own piece of golden hour lights, use 180-100 Pro. Rather than soft light, this time I just use harsh light. Okay, so this is 8100 Pro. And what I did, so this is 8100 Pro. What I did is, here's a grid attached to it. Cool. So it actually restricts the spread of the lights to focus, right? This will mimic, it's almost mimic the way how sunset, a pocket of lights would be. And simple as that. And of course, I add a half CTO gel, which you would be able to find in the AKR1 kit. It's quite handy. So harsh light, like soft light is most beautiful and pleasant light, but harsh light does work from time to time. In this scenario, it works beautifully. So Godox 8100 Pro with the AKR1. Cool. In order for you guys to see the details, I actually prepped some close-up. Here is the difference, guys. On the left, both is successfully flashed. On the left, you will see more obvious flash. It's an image with it's a bit more drama. On the right, you will see a more natural light kind of feel, right? If we want to put in another way, it's on the left, it's almost like you see a sunset on a full sunny day, clear day with no cloud. On the right, you kind of feel the sun shooting through the cloud and falling on the model. So it's almost like 40% of cloud coverage in a sense. It's quite easy to do. I did not change my flash output. I simply did move from left to right. Is on the left, I actually under 1.5 stop underexposed the ambient, right? Because the underexposed ambient, the ambient is less apparent. The flash becomes more obvious, so you see a bit of the flash, right? So you see more, you have more shadows comparing with the highlights created by the flash. So if you're the kind of dramatic, you love the impact and drama kind of guy, go for the left. It's just underexposed ambient, and that's it. So easy to do. On the right, you just use the ambient. You just do not underexpose. Try to make if you're doing the AV sort of mode, try to equivalent 0 EV, or even overexpose the ambient a bit, so that you have a light and not night and airy per se, but you kind of have more apparent ambient light. And flash is almost like a kiss of key lights, right, highlighting her face and part of the dress out of the image. So each one speak to certain customers or certain people. Go for the one you enjoy the most. And if you're leaning towards a particular one, leave in the comments and let me know. Cool. Another case, you can go for high key or go for low key. Okay. On the left, it's something I started with. So we went to another corner of the building. There's a patch of light coming through the cloud, kissing on her hair. If you can see that on the right of the model. The problem is, again, her face is a bit it's a bit dark because it's overcast day. So this time I use the Godox 100 Pro with the umbrella. So the umbrella, the key here is not to overdone this, to use them as a fill light, right? So you can see all the shadow details of the clothes. It's actually being lifted. It's quite nice and even. It's beautiful light orange, and it actually gives her kiss on her skin. So you can see her nose, her T-bone areas, it's kind of popping out. So it has a beautiful portrait light out of her, and you don't even feel how obvious the artificial light is, simply because the way I'm going for, it's a natural look, right? It's a natural look. It looks natural, but the light makes everything perfect. Of course, you can go for something else at exactly the same location. We say, why don't we just try something else? And on the right is, rather than place, listen to this, rather than place the umbrella at the same direction as a natural light to give a natural feel, I place the umbrella within the wall. So the light is actually coming through the wall, right? As a key light to kiss on her skin. So what do you see on the right-hand side? Her skin, her face, her nose, and her cheekbone area popping out, and her chin is under shade. It's all created by the flash with the umbrella, because the umbrella is such a large light source. It's such an ideal beauty light, right? If you want to go for the soft, cloudy day, sort of moody look, which is perfect for this case, because we want the orange to pop out from the moody, straight sort of background. And the natural light actually is, if you look at the hair on the right, that actually the highlight of her hair on the right is actually the natural light. So from left to right, all you have to do is to stop underexposed ambient and replace where your 8100 Pro it should be. It's such a versatile light, right? It can be used as a of course, as a fill light, because it's so light with umbrella, you can almost easily lift it up anywhere, and it's powerful enough. I'm not saying you want to come back sun with this light, but it's powerful enough to underexpose the ambient to deliver a dramatic image look. Okay, so another look by 8100 Pro. So this is a little alley right behind the wall we shoot at. It's simply no natural light at all. It's almost like no natural light, because by the time we get there, it's getting quite dark, and it's actually a very tiny alley in between two tall buildings, so there's no natural light at all. So you see with a 180 and 100 Pro with umbrella, you can have a beautiful, it's almost like a studio look umbrella shot, very simple. And this time it's a very simple 45 degrees out of besides the camera, very traditional kind of light. The trick here is, number one, why I choose the location is because I feel the orange flower actually matches the orange of the model. By using the flash, will make her stand out from the background. The trick here is to give some distance between the model and the wall, right? So the lights hit on the model, and the lights would not overlead the wall, which becomes a distraction, right? So with a distance between model and the wall, we almost have a very subtle light fall off on the wall. The shadow wouldn't be so apparent, and we have a beautiful luminosity-wise separation from the model and the wall. So you can use 8100 Pro as a straight vibe sort of photo shoots. Of course, you can use 8100 Pro to do some sort of studio look image as well. That's no problem at all. All right. So to summarize, 8100 Pro is a beautiful. It's such a versatile light, right? I can use a bigger soft light source with it, like umbrella will be perfect, right? I personally use 105 with it, but you can use 130 or 85. It doesn't matter. The tips would be add上个洞, right? It would further diffuse your light to evenly distribute it in the umbrella. Now you can of course use this as a small light source. Use a gray to limit the light spread. Use a color gel to mimic the sun. It will be beautifully mimic the sunset, right? Which I have just shown you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. Now, let me drop the question. Let me drop give you guys a good news. I promised we have a 180-100 Pro giveaway, and here it is. I will give away this 8100 Pro, and then I will attend all your questions. Okay, so we have 181. Guys, pay attention to this. We have 8100 Pro giveaway today, right? Simply comments below in our Facebook and YouTube this very video, and we will select the winner within 24 hours. The question is, what would you create with 8100 Pro? Are you going to shoot some food? Are you going to shoot a portrait? And comments below, let us know, right? And the team would select the winner within 24 hours. So please make sure if you comments within 24 hours. Just simply say, what would you create with 8100 Pro? Simple. And if you want to follow up my work, that's my Instagram handle, Aries Tao. That's my Instagram handle, and my website, which is coming soon, will be aristotile.com.au. And I hope you guys enjoyed this talk. Let me answer all the questions before I call off the day. All right. Hi guys, hi everyone. Thank you for watching. How do you mount this with a softbox? It's not a Bowen mount. Hi Kabir. If you want a Bowen mount, easy. You can use S2 type brackets. S2 type brackets to mount on any Bowen mount softbox. And with the umbrella I use, I just used the native mount. I just used the native mount. Come with this 8100 Pro. It actually comes with the box, right? I can attach the 8100 Pro on the native mount, and it actually comes with if you can see that, it comes with an umbrella hole. Can you see it? It comes with an umbrella hole. Yep. So that would help me to mount it. I don't need any sort of extra mount. It's already come with the 8100 Pro. Nahas mentioned, how would you avoid the reflection? Well, I would say that there's not much reflection that I notice. It looks like a silver building, but it doesn't really reflect the lights. So it's all good. It's not glass. It's just a silver look metal building. The reflection wasn't any problem when I noticed. Kabir said, how do we use light modifier on this? Godox has actually published light modifier. As I said, there are two types of light modifiers in general, right? If you want a small light modifier, go for the Godox AKR1, right? It's so far the most versatile. It's a very economic solution for small light modifiers, such as you can use a grate. It comes with a dome, and it comes with a color gel, bomb door, snoot, pretty much everything you need as a harsh light source. With a soft light source, you can always combine. It actually comes with this umbrella. It already comes with this umbrella mount, which allows you to mount on any light stand with an umbrella hole. Right, so Kabir, you can mount 8100 Pro easily with an umbrella, like the image I showed you today. If you want to mount it on any softbox with a Bowen mount, you can purchase an S2 type bracket separately. Okay. Mark Villa is asking me, can you use S2 type brackets or anything generic brands ones too? Yes, you can use S2 type brackets. Hi, Dong. How are you, mate? How do 8100 Pro compare with speedlights? So basically, with speedlights, I find typical speedlights is 60 watts. 8100 Pro is 100 watts, so you have a bit more power. It's so easy with a native round head sort of adapter. And more importantly, I find it's about everything. The high speed sync is be best, performance is be better than speed lights, as well as the more importantly to me, the recycling time. It's actually quite short. This helped me to speed up my shoot, especially I'm shooting multiple locations with a talent team. Everybody's time is precious, so I try to be as efficient as possible. And if you are the one try to shoot fast, or you think the recycling time is a factor to you, then 8100 Pro, it's definitely a winner comparing with speedlights. Okay, and it's smaller too. Yes. So Don, my other question says, Godox V1, I have been using Godox V1 and thinking working more dramatic outdoor. Decided me to 8200 Pro and 8100 Pro. Which are you recommending? I personally would recommend 8100 Pro simply because the round head, it's so easy to use and it's native and so easy and compact in my bag. And yes, with 8200 Pro, you have more light, but it's bigger. I'd rather carry two 8100 Pro with me because most of the time I wouldn't. I feel like it's enough and it's smaller in my bag. And if truly want to create something dramatic and overpower the sun or ish down, I would go for 8300 Pro or plus. All right. So 8100 Pro or 8300 Pro is probably a better idea for your dramatic portrait comparing with 8200 Pro. You either go for the size or you go for the power. Cool. Thank you, guys. I hope that I answer everybody's question and with a load of useful information to you. And I hope you enjoy the talk. And hopefully, I will see you guys next week. Bye for now. See ya. Bye.